Hello, this is Silver Bullet, going to quickly show you how to play Star Wars Empire vs. Rebellion. Now, if you've ever played Cold War CIA vs. KGB, this game is very similar, has some slight rule differences, but overall pretty similar. It's a very fun game. It's a card game for 2 players. It is sort of has similarities to Blackjack, amongst other things, and let's just get right into it, shall we? Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you start the game is sort of set it up like this. You'll have your objective deck here, your rebellion cards here. Their heroes for the rebellion cards are sorted out. They're all the cards with 6 points each on the top. And then strategy cards for the rebellion along with empire strategy cards, their regular deck, and then their 6 heroes that, again, there's 10 heroes in all, I think, or no, 8 heroes in total for each force. First thing you're going to want to do is flip this token. This token will dictate who goes first and who wins ties. We're going to get into how winning works and all that soon. Don't you worry. All right. So the other thing you want to do is give influence tokens, 2 influence tokens to each person. So you would receive 2 if I was playing against you. And oh, Kringle! I should have just done that. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. There we go. Happy trees. Alright, and I'll get to. Influence tokens are used to re-ready cards, and again, we'll get into that once we start. So, first thing that you do is you look through your hero decks. You'll notice that each of them have different abilities. So, with Yoda, you can gain 1 influence token. Luke, you can discard 1 of your resource cards of your choice and/or 1 of your opponent's resource cards of your choice. They each do different things, and the descriptions on them are very detailed, where it's really hard to get confused as to what they are, what they do. Now, one interesting thing about this game is that the Empire's heroes are different for the most part from the Rebels. The Empire basically sort of focuses more on taking away resources from the Rebellion, it sort of seems to me at least, and the Rebellion sort of seems to generate more resources from their heroes, or able to draw more cards and things like that, while the Empire tries to take that away. I think it provides an interesting dynamic, and it seems pretty balanced from the couple games that I've played. So you'll choose 4 heroes, so I'm just going to randomly choose 4. You'll put these other reserved heroes just in a pile far away. The Empire will do the same thing. I'll just choose those 4. They'll put them in this pile. You'll shuffle this deck up. This is your resource deck. This is what you'll be drawing to get points to try to capture objectives. There's different types of cards, resource cards. There's the Force, which you can use to exhaust 1 ready resource card of your choice of either faction. There's Recon, which you look at the top 2 cards of either resource deck, discard 1 of them, and place them to the other. You guys can read the descriptions. They're very descriptive again, and also these regular resource cards are the same. So both the Rebellion and the Empire have Force cards and Recon cards that act exactly the same. The only difference is in the art. And yeah, so you would shuffle yours, I would shuffle mine. The next thing, we would now officially start the game basically, and the first thing you do is, of course, you would shuffle this deck. This is the objectives deck. This is basically what you're fighting for, and let's go ahead and just reveal something. So the first card we'd be fighting over is the Battle of Yavin. Now, these numbers are sort of important. 3 stands for how many points this is worth. So whoever ends up winning this card gets that many points. You win the game when you have a total of 7 points or higher. So this is a really good card to get early on. This number over here represents how many influence tokens the winner will have. This is sort of important for later game. Like, those influence tokens, they're very, very important. Very nice to have when you need to reuse cards that others that have been exhausted for one reason or another. So this one, you wouldn't get any influence tokens. You'll probably be spending some to try to win this and things like that. The 15 is the number that you're trying to aim for. You do not want to go over it. You want to be at 15 or less, depending on different circumstances, off of your resource cards. And we'll get into that a little more momentarily. And this is how many cards you can have in your play area at a time. You can only have 4 for this scenario, and you can't go over that. You can never go over that. So we'll go ahead and just sort of pretend to play a little bit, and you'll sort of see real quick as to how it works. So we revealed the objective card, And now what each person will do secretly is choose a strategy card. Now, strategy cards can change up the game a lot. Some of them are, they're both exactly the same for the Empire and the Rebellion. Not sure why my camera keeps refocusing, so sorry about that. However, they're both exactly the same for the Empire and the Rebellion. There's no difference between the strategy cards. But you would both select yours without telling the other person. So some of these are very impactful. Deception, for instance, basically makes it so that when determining the victor, if nobody's gone over the resource count that people are aiming for, the loser ends up winning. Support is not as game impactful. It's basically when this card is revealed, you can add one character resource to your resource deck. There's others as well. I think the other one that's worth noting is where is it? Direct Assault. This is sort of the other game impacting one, which basically adds your when determining victory, increase your total resource value by 2, so you can sort of trick your opponent. If you were at 14 and I'm at 13, I pass, you pass, and we determine the victory totals. You're like, ha, I've won, and then I'm like, no, wait, the +2 gives me 15 and I win. We'll get into that more momentarily. So I'm gonna just choose one at random. I'm just gonna choose this one. You'll do the same, and I'm just gonna go ahead and have you choose a random one without looking at it, even though it looks like I did. I swear I'm not cheating, it's fine. So, alright, we have the board set up, everything's ready to go. These have been both shuffled. Yeah, so the way this works is the balance token, when we flipped it at the beginning, landed you, so you would go first. So the way this works is you always have to play a card on your first turn, and you always have to have one card on your play field. So you can't just pass right away. This is sort of important if you play Deception, you can't just be like, I pass, I have no points, I automatically win. There's none of that. So yeah, you'll play a card and you'll put it in front of you like so. You'll see that it's the Diplomacy, it's 5 points. These are the points that each card is worth, and that will add to the total. So you want 15, you're at 5, so you only need 10 more, which is really good. We'll just sort of go at a quick rate here. I have a military card, which allows me to discard one of your opponent's resources cards of your choice, which is super helpful for me, but I'm only at 3 right now. So you go again, you got another 5. I just like that, so what I'm gonna do is use a card. So when you use a card, it's, you put it like so. You get to discard one of your opponent's resource cards of your choice, and I'll be choosing that military card because I don't like it, and that goes in the discard pile. It's gone now. So you would go now, and it keeps going back and forth. So the choices that you have in this phase here, it's called the struggle phase, is to play a card, use a power, which is what I just did. Spend influence, which I'll just demonstrate now. So you now have 2 diplomacy cards, and realistically this doesn't make sense for me to do, but I'm going to spend an influence token, so it goes back into the bank, and that will allow me to re-ready this card. So now it's back in front like so. It's not used, and I can use it again, but now it's your turn. So you go ahead and you draw another card. I'm starting to run out of cards here. So you got 9, 10, 11. I'm going to go ahead and use my military card, take out the diplomacy, that's 5. And yeah, it's your turn again. So there's the 4 things. It's play a card, use a power, spend influence, or pass. If you pass, you do nothing. This phase ends when both players pass at the same time, or pass concurrently. So let's say you pass, and then I pass. That ends the round. We aren't going to draw any more cards. Now realistically, if I'm doing this, it's probably that I have the Deception, but I don't. I only have Direct Assault, which increases my value by 2, so I have 5, but I added incorrectly. You have 6. The one that you chose was Bureaucracy, so if you lose the event, you gain 2 influence tokens, which isn't the case here. And your strategy card goes there, mine goes there. You can just place them anywhere. It really doesn't matter. One thing of debate is if you keep those strategy cards revealed. I'll get into that a little later though. But you reveal your strategies, you determine the victor. You were the victor here. So because you just won and you now have more points than me, I get the balance token, so we get to flip that. If we had tied, so if it was 6, if I had 6 and you had 6, you would still be the winner because you had the balance token. This is sort of an interesting mechanic in terms of it making it sort of whoever is the lower player has an advantage unless you play deception, and things like that. So that is basically it. The three points would be yours, and all you would need is 4 points to win. Just to set up for the next round, we would do the cleanup, where you throw all your resource cards back into your resource deck, all my resource cards back into my resource deck, shuffle, and I'm being very lazy with shuffling because I'm just lazy, and reveal another objective card, which there's a special thingy here, which we'll get into quickly, and also choose a new strategy card. Now, strategy cards are interesting in this. You can only play one per. Once you play a strategy card, it gets discarded. This is never going to go back into your hand until you no longer have any strategy cards. So for the next round, I only have these to choose from, and the next round after that, I'd choose this one. The next round, I choose this one, and then finally, I'd choose deception for if we got 5 objective cards in. Deception would be the one played, and then only when you have no objective strategy cards in your hand do you get to grab all of yours and then pick one again. So you can't really do like deception and then take it back. That's not how the strategy cards work. So it's actually really important choosing the right strategy cards at the current time. Anyway, that's sort of an important note for the strategy cards. For Fall of Hero here, you'll see that it only allows for 3 cards. Your target amount of points is 9. Some of the cards have these little descriptions in the bottom left, and these are effects that happen when the winner is chosen. So for here, the player who loses the event must remove one of his character resource cards from his resource deck and place it into his reserve. So let's say we played this out, you won again, you would get this objective. So now, oh my god, you're at 4 points, and now I also have to go in, find my heroes, and I have to discard one. So Lando, sorry, you go back to the resource deck. One other thing I didn't get into, which I probably should have mentioned, is hero cards. You'll notice that the different heroes, they are very impactful, but the one difference here is that they have a 6 and a 1. When a hero card is put out, it's worth 6 points if it's in the ready state. However, as soon as you use it, so let's say we were playing and I used the card, I'm flipping it this way to show that I've exhausted the card. Leia is now only 1 point. That can greatly affect you if you're trying to play deception and things like that. Just something sort of important to note. This is applied to both heroes for the Empire as well as the Rebellion, and yeah, I think that about covers it up. I think that about sums it up. Some other important notes is if both players play deception, basically the deceptions cancel out and whoever wins is the winner. There's one other thing. There's one strategy card called Infiltration, which basically next round you choose your opponent's strategy card next round. So if both players play Infiltration, normally how it would work, let's say we finished the objective, you won. I'm going to say I won that one just because the game would have ended otherwise. But let's say you played whatever strategy card this is, and I had played Infiltration. So I had won, regardless if I won or lost, I get to look at your strategy cards, be like, you know what, you're playing this one. You get to look at it and see which one that I just played for you. So it's really more or less just open knowledge to both players. And then I get to choose my own card. Now, had both of us play the Infiltration card at the same time, what basically happens is I give you my strategy card deck, and you give me your strategy card deck. We each choose the ones that we want to choose, slide it to the other person. You would just choose one for me, slide it to me. We'd reveal each other's, and then we'd be able to look at the ones that were chosen for us and then play it out. It's first to 7, so if we played one more battle, attack on Echo Base, that won't resolve in a winner. So I'm going to Battle of Endor, you win it, you have 7 points here now, and that is game. The games go by pretty quickly once you have the rules down. It's a very fun game. If you've ever tried Cold War, as I was saying before, Cold War CIA versus KGB, It's very similar to that, but I would definitely say a bit more strategic. Using your cards is a lot more important. I really like the influence tokens portion of it, and yeah. So yeah, that's in essence a 101 on how to play Star Wars Empire versus Rebellion. If you have any questions, let me know, and yeah, I'll see you around. There we go. That's what I wanted.